welcome to the channel. So today we are going to solve a competitive programming question of rating 800. So the problem name is add plus minus. The problem over here is Aqua Moon has a string consisting of only 0 and 1 and she wants to add plus and minus between all pair of consecutive positions to make the absolute value of the resulting expression as small as possible. So according to the question, our task is to add plus and minus sign between all pairs of consecutive positions. Consecutive means that the elements of each pair should be continuous, that is one after the other, and our aim is to find the minimum absolute value. So we can see this through an example. We will be considering an example with string value as 10001. The length of the string A is 5. And we will store the string in a form of array so as to ease the calculation process. We will also make use of the sum variable. The initial value of the sum will be the first value of the array, that is the value at the index 0, that is 1 over here. Now to place the sign we have two cases. The first case is of the positive sign, that is plus sign, and the next case, that is case 2, is of the negative sign. For the plus sign, we have again two conditions, that is the value of sum plus the value of the next index equals 1. Then we'll update sum as sum plus the value, that is the value of the next index, and place the positive sign. And the other case is that if the value of sum plus next index's value equals 0, then we don't need to update sum and just we have to place the positive sign. And for the negative case, if the sum plus the next index's value is greater than 1, then we will update sum as sum equals to sum minus val, that is the value at next index, and we will use negative sign. Now going to the example and following the previous mentioned cases, we have sum that is initially set to the first indices of the array, that is the value 1. So the next value over here is 0, that is 1 plus 0 equals 1. So by the conditions I mentioned, we will place a positive sign. So over here I'm just putting the result of the signs. Now sum has become 1. We will again do the calculations, that is the sum is for these two blocks or these two index. Now for the third one, again we have 0, that is 1 plus 0 equals 1 again. So we will again put a positive sign. Now sum has become 1, that is 1 plus 0 equals to 1. The resultant sum is for this 3. Again we will go to the next index, that is 3. Over here the value is 0, which becomes 1 again. And for the case if we have 1, sum plus the next index value as 1, we were placing positive sign. So again positive sign will be placed over here. Now in the fourth index we have 1, that is 1 plus 1 equals 2, which is greater than 1. So in this case the sum will be updated as sum equals sum minus the value at the next index, over here the index is 4, that is the value is 1. Now sum will become 1 minus 1, that is 0, and we will, for this case, we will place a negative sign. Don't be confused over here. This is just the checking condition. We are not updating it. We are just checking. That is 1 plus 1 equals to 2, which is greater. The updation is done over here. Now we will go and code this in Java. Before coding, let's complete the question first. That is the reading the question. We completed this part and explained what we have to do for the task. Now the case of input. First, the first line of the console would contain a integer t that would denote the number of test cases. Like over here, C3. 3 is that number of test cases. Okay. The second line, that is the first line of the test case, will contain a single integer n. The size of n should be greater than 2 or equals to 2, but less than equals to 100. The second line would contain the string a of n length consisting of 0 and 1. And for the output, we have to print the n minus 1 length of minus and plus string, the result which we saw in the example. So from the example input given over here, we can see that the test cases is 3. For the first case, the n will be 2 and the string will be 1 and 1. For this 1 and 1, we can see over here, in the first case we can get the expression 1 minus 1 equals to 0 with an absolute value of 0. And for the second case, the value of n is 5 and the string is 0 1 1 0 1. We can see that over here. This is the output of n minus 1 length. This 11 will relate to minus sign over here, that is 1 minus 1. Now going to the coding part. For coding this question, you can use your preferred language. Over here I am using Java. For the purpose of input, I will be using scanner class. Now in the question we have seen that we have t cases. Okay, for that we will take input of t. And now we need the size, that is size of the string. I'll be using a variable named as size. Now we need to take the input of the string. I'm just taking the input and converting it into the array. So this will take the desired value of the string and we need to convert it into the array. Now instead of the sum variable, I will be using as the variable named as val. Over here, that str of 0 minus 48. If simply I would put int, that is typecasting str of 0, that will take the character value of 0, that is 48, and to make it 0 I am subtracting 48 from that. Now we will loop, and the first value of sum, we were taking it the initial value of the array, that is 0, so we need to start the loop from 1, from the next index. Now we just need to check the conditions. And I forgot one thing, that for resulting signs we need to store it. For that I am making an empty string named res, that is result equals to double inverted commas. I've created an empty string. I'll be using this empty string for the storing purpose of the signs that we need to display. If val plus integer of, let me copy it, this will be used. Over here just str of j minus 48, str of j minus 48 equals to 1. Then we will update the val, that is sum. We are using sum. Instead of using sum, we are using val over here. Val equals to val plus, again this part, this whole, from int till 48. And for the case if we have 1, we were making the resulting sign as positive. So res equals to res plus positive sign. Okay. Now for the next part, else if val plus that, again that the next index part over here, that is greater than 1. For this case we will be placing negative sign, and for that we will be updating the value. Just we need to subtract over here and we have to again make the rest as negative. This will be adding just plus, after that negative sign there will be a string of length n minus 1 using this. Now over here, this is the first case of the positive sign and this one is the negative case, and we need to again do that for 0. That is the positive case also. That is equals to 0. We'll just keeping the res as res equals to res plus positive sign, and at last we will be printing the result. Over here you can see that the solution is accepted with every test case passing. Thank you.